work, there are some other works. Then only the building would be over. It seems that people may wait. It seems that people, the building would be over, but the building is not yet over. But something like that, while doing research also, we standardized the tools, we collected the tools, and we collected the data, and we analyzed the data, and we were with the findings of the data, the final thesis yet to be prepared. When we start preparing the thesis, so many questions will come. We thought everything will be over, but it is only the beginning. There only the problem will start. And we may face lot of problem, but here I am going to give you some ground rules how to overcome all those problems, nothing else, my dear friend. So normally I told you the thesis, the final outcome of the thesis, it is what is called the brain child of our work. Everybody would be happy. So normally I come across the people who keep their thesis in their puja room. In their puja room, they consider it such a what is called holy book, and they will keep it in their puja room, and they will consider as a holy book. Okay, such type of people are also there. You will also do in the days to come after completing your thesis, I suppose. But that is, but that is why we give it. Davasubha, is it ready? Dava?
Yes, sir.
Right, I'm going on speaking, but if it is ready, you can tell me, right? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let
I
me go on.
started presenting the PPT.
Right. After the display of your slide, you please inform me. But now I am talking to the audience
Sir.
because audience should also be engaged, right?
Sir, my
Okay, Dava?
presentation started displaying, sir. You can start the session.
Okay, but I couldn't see, in fact.
Sir, you pin myself, sir. I mean, there will be an arrow mark.
Okay, I could see.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Okay, let's start. It is the okay audience. Am I audible? Anyone of the audience, you please inform me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, can I proceed?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
tips to next slide.
Little bit
Okay,
your
next slide, please. Echo, right. Next slide, please.
Now it's clear, sir. Now it's clear.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So why this discussion? I told you, as I already told you, it is the final and the consolidated document of all our work. In fact, but it is the final work. When we see the work, we will become what is called overwhelmed. I come across the people, they used to shed tears after seeing the work at the last. So it is such type of work. And I also like to quote Shakespeare in this regard. Shakespeare once said, apparent proclaims a man. Any disturbance? Can I continue?
Yes, sir. Proceed, sir.
Okay. Apparel proclaims a man, Shakespeare once said, but I could not see what is called Davasubha's slide. That is the problem with me. Right. Davasubha's slide.
Participants, please close your video and do not share your presentation except the speaker.
Davasubha.
All participants are requested to close your videos to avoid the technological issues. Others, please mute your microphone. Sir, presentation is ready, sir.
Ready, presented, but let me see. I couldn't see my Davasubha. Slide. I couldn't see the slide, man. That is my can participants? Can participants view the slide?
Yes, sir.
Participants,
Yes, sir.
participants, but I cannot view the slide. But help me anyhow. Yeah, right. Okay. But we are in the slide. Why is this discussion? Am I correct?
Yes,
Why
sir.
is this discussion is that okay. Here I mentioned one thing, one Shakespeare's quotation: "Apparel proclaims a man." In fact, apparel means the dress. As dress proclaims a man, as dress talks about the man, our thesis also. The outcome of our thesis also talks about the man. Another important thing, as I already told you, it is the brainchild of every researcher. That is another important thing. There are one more things. Our thesis, the final form of our work, whether it is a thesis or dissertation, it speaks not only about the research, what we are doing, all these things, but also about the researcher. That means how deep the researcher understands the concept discussed there. So that all could be seen only through our thesis only. Okay. With this, we will go to the next slide. Dava, next slide, please.
Next visible, sir.
Next visible. Why is
Yes.
this discussion, dissertation? In fact, before that, what is this thesis? Let me start, thesis normally, am I correct? This is what is called. What is this discussion? What is thesis? You all know, but with this, I don't want to go deep into that things. It is a factual. It is factual, not imaginary. It is logical, not arbitrary. It is factual, logical, and sequential record of the research on a specific problem carried over a particular period of time and to reach the solution that is called the thesis. But next slide, please. Next slide. I could not see but the slide is shown. You please inform me, Dava.
Thesis versus dissertation, sir.
Dissertation. Okay, I used the word thesis and dissertation here, but thesis and dissertation many of us are using, but they are used synonymously, but there is subtle difference between these two things. In fact, as far as the purpose is concerned, that thesis, the very word thesis, thesis is something philosophical term. With this, we can also have hypothesis. Hypo means not real, and hippo, another meaning also having below the skin, dermatology, below the skin, that is called below the thesis are not real, that is hypothesis. But here, as far as the thesis is concerned, it is psychological word. But here, thesis, is it to prove your knowledge about the research and the area of your study? How much you understand there is knowledge, how much you understand the area of study, that is shown through the thesis. But the dissertation a little bit advanced. Here you contribute new knowledge, theory and practice in your field of specialization. But again, we'll come to the thesis. As far as the structure of thesis is concerned, it is the sort of research paper. It is the extension upon your area of study. Okay, that's all. But whereas dissertation, it is here you are taking other studies only as the guidance. Your contribution here is unique. It's your own unique. It is your own unique theory based on your own hypothesis. But next, as far as the length of the things are concerned, thesis is comparatively having smaller length. Normally, it has to run for about 100 pages, whereas dissertation is comparatively bigger, 2 or 3 times the length of the thesis it means. But the level, as far as the level is concerned, normally we are submitting our thesis at the master level, whereas we are submitting our dissertation at the doctoral level. Thesis, as I already told you, it is at master level. But here we are coming up, but both the thesis and the dissertation are having some common features. Next slide, please. Next slide.
Common feature of thesis or dissertation, sir.
Okay. Next slide, common features of thesis and dissertation. I told you the difference between thesis and dissertation just now, but now, though there are subtle differences, and they are having some common things. They are introduction, literary review, body of the thesis, conclusion, bibliography, appendix. These are all common both in thesis as well as in dissertation. So we'll discuss all these things in detail in the days to come. So sources for this discussion. Next slide, please.
Sources for this discussion, sir.
Sources for this discussion. In fact, the sources for this discussion, sources for this discussion, normally, but I have gone through the norms prescribed by many universities. I have gone through the norms prescribed by many universities. And as our principal, as a respected principal, have already told you, I have been guiding PhD thesis. So far, more than about 25 PhD theses I was guiding. And so far 50 MPhil thesis and 25 MBA thesis I was guiding. The knowledge gained through guiding all these type of theses are also one of the sources. And the next sources, the knowledge gained by me through evaluating thesis and evaluation of many universities. I had the chance to go through the thesis or evaluation of many universities. The knowledge gained through doing this work is also one of the sources of this presentation. And also I have gone through the adjudication report of many examiners, both from India and from abroad. And the adjudication report gone through by me, given by many examiners, are also one of the sources for these things. And also the 7th edition of APA format, APA handbook is also the sources for discussion. With this, let us go to the discussion. Next slide, please. Next slide. Okay. Next, first part and introductory part. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
First part, here also we have the cover page. But cover page and first page. Normally, some university may prescribe cover page different format and first page different format. We have to follow. And the certificate and declaration, we have to follow the university norms. Here I would like to tell you, many students have copied their certificates from other students' researchers, but they have left some things unchanged. They changed the name. Some of them have changed their name and they do not change the proper pronoun. Say, for example, if thesis is submitted by Rasul Mohideen, it is to certify that a thesis submitted by Rasul Mohideen and also certified that it is his original work. It has to be changed. But suppose Sasipriya has changed this, have followed this, have taken this as a model, Sasipriya have left that his without changing, and she left his as it is, but she is supposed to change it as her. So when you change your certificate, when you cut copy, you have to be very careful in this regard. And again, regarding the content, list of tables, list of graphs also you are submitting, there also you have to be very careful. And regarding list of abbreviation, many theses, many people haven't given the list of abbreviation. And some of them have given the list of abbreviation also. But when they give, they have to give in alphabetical order. A few theses it was missing. That is why I would like to highlight on this point. And regarding, as far as the acknowledgement is concerned, don't disclose everything about you in your acknowledgement. Say, for example, where from you are hailing from, and the religion that you belong to, and the people who are supporting you. But many people have disclosed everything so that it may, in fact, it may affect your adjudication report also. So don't disclose everything. Acknowledge the people within the framework of the rules and norms prescribed by this university. With this background, with this discussion, let us go to the other area. Some tips for the first part. Okay, let's go to the next area. Next thesis, please. Next slide, please.
Some tips for the first part.
First part. So far, what we have discussed is the first part. But here also, I think I have told you some points. You follow the university norms. Many of you are doing research on different universities and different people. You have to follow your university norms. And the next thing, as I already told you, be careful while cutting and copying, and modify the cut and copied copies properly so that we can avoid unnecessary complications. As I already told you, follow alphabetical order in the list of abbreviations and avoid disclosing everything in your acknowledgement. With this, we will go to the next area, that is the second part of the thesis. Next slide, please. Second part, body of the thesis or dissertation, as I already told you. But here in our discussion, we take both thesis and dissertation together. We are discussing on this area only. Okay. Here, normally any thesis, but APA, you all know that, you all may be familiar with APA. APA means American Psychological Association. It is supposed to be the authority for our social science research. There is another format that is called MLA format. That's membership of literary club, but association. But MLA format is for humanities. But we are doing research. Since our education comes under social science field, we are supposed to follow APA format, mind it. Okay. But in APA format, normally people said, these are the 5 different chapters that has to find place, and they have given the permission, and there are a little bit deviation, but these areas are to be there, these discussions are to be there. Number 1, to begin with the conceptual framework of the study. But here also, whether it is conceptual framework or theoretical framework, normally we are using conceptual framework and theoretical framework synonymously only. Next area is review of later literature. Third one, methodology. Fourth one, analysis and interpretation of the data. And fifth one, conclusion, recommendation, and suggestion for further research. These are the things to be found in our thesis or dissertation. But the number of chapters, there can be deviation. But these things are to be found. That is very important things. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, thank you. Some tips for writing conceptual framework of the study. But here we are using conceptual framework and theoretical framework as the synonym, understand. But here conceptual framework, many theses I have come across the people giving framework different word. Understand, both the framework, frame and work, that is the single work, it is framework. It is a single word, mind it. It is a single word. But here in these chapters, based on your own experience, based on the literature reviewed by you, based on the existing theories, based on the experience from other people, you form theory, you form one concept on which you are going to do your research. That is the conceptual framework. You are framing the concept for your work based on these things. So here you have to concentrate more on giving all these things. You have to collaborate existing theories, your own experience, and frame the correct theory suitable for your own research so that it will guide you to go further. Okay, here with this we'll go to the next chapter, that is called some tips for writing review of related literature. Next slide, it has been displayed. I could also see. Okay, next slide. Here you please understand, it includes both related studies and related literature. What is related literature? The conceptual ideas based on our work, that is called related literature. Related studies, the studies undertaken by some other fellow researchers and based on related to the topic that we have selected. That is called related studies. But here we are supposed to review both related literature and related studies. So you combine both here, that, okay. But here some people, they have defined elaborately the need, scope, the meaning and the concept of what is review of later literature and the importance of review literature. If you review of related literature, if it runs for about 60 pages, all these preliminary details themselves occupy nearly about 30 pages. So avoid writing. So don't write all these preliminary detail, but you have to give the sources from where you have collected, from where you have reviewed the literature, that you have to give, right? While submitting, while reviewing, while recording your related literature, related studies, you can follow either alphabetical order or chronological order. But if you follow alphabetical order uniformly throughout the researcher. If you follow chronological order, you are free to follow either ascending order or descending order, and follow them uniformly. It is more important things. And captions, regarding the captions, the division of the chapters of review of later literature. Normally, we divided the chapters into review of later literatures, later studies done in India, done abroad. But in the context of the LGP, liberalization, globalization, the privatization, nowadays the researchers have not supported the division of the chapter into two topics, what is called studies done in abroad, done in India, done abroad. They have combined both the things. So better you can also combine both the things together. But you can divide the topic, divide your review of later literature based on the variables. Suppose if you take the variable experiential learning, and then what is called attitude, students' achievement, etc., academic achievement, etc., you divide your studies, you divide your discussion based on three different variables. So first you discuss all the studies done on what is called experiential learning, then discuss the studies done on academic achievement, then discuss the studies done on the other variables that you may have selected for your studies. And with that, but in in some of the theses I have come across, the people have ended the second chapters abruptly, but you don't end the thesis abruptly. After discussing all these things, you review all the studies review. Suppose if you are reviewing nearly about 200 work, other things, you are reviewing about 200, but I again, within 2 or 3 pages, you give an abstract of all those things. After giving the abstract, again you please do one important thing. What is called, you mention the gap identified by you. What are the inferences that you have inferred from your review? So gap identified by you, and give the separate captions under which you are supposed to discuss how far your study bridges the gap identified by you through the review of later literature. So gap identified and how your study bridges the gap, it has to be discussed a little bit, if not elaborately, but it has to be discussed comprehensively in your second chapter. Anything? Can I continue?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next, okay. Some tips for writing methodology, it is very important tips, chapters. Every chapter is very important. Here also I request you to avoid writing the notes for all the related, what is methodology, what are the different methods of doing research, what is called population, what is this and that. All these things you need not bother about the things. You come directly, but you select a methodology and defend the selection of your methodology. Suppose if you select descriptive method, why do you have you selected descriptive method? Suppose if you select a historical method, in what way historical method is applicable to your research? With this, you can go to the other things. And delimitation. Many of you may know the difference between limitation and delimitation. Limitations means that not within our control. But delimitation is what we control ourselves. We cannot predict limitation. So normally people won't give limitation. But you have to give delimitations, But in the delimitations, what you have controlled yourself. Say, for example, if you take 11th standard students as the sample for your studies, how many 11th standard students and how is the 11th standard students from particular group only, such type of things you can give in your delimitation. And in your delimitation, you can also mention the different dimension of your tools that you have developed. And next thing mention specifically what modification you are made. Okay, during the discussion of the standardization of your tools, many scholars have given one idea based on the suggestion given by the experts, or based on this and that, some statements have been modified. But here, what is expected from the examiner, you are supposed to mention the suggestion given by the expert, mention properly, specifically, what is the suggestion given by the examiner, and how do you modify, how you modify the statement, what was the previous statement, what was the new statement incorporated in your tool. All these things are to be explained very elaborately in your things. Foreign examiners are very sensitive in this regard. And the next important thing is type of hypothesis, and you can follow different types of hypothesis that you can fix in consultation with your guide. But you have, before mentioning the hypothesis, just mention whether it is research hypothesis or null hypothesis, or whether you are asking the question, research question, you mention them properly. Next important things, okay. And the sampling technique, but only a few, hardly some people haven't given these things. But anyhow, I think that it is my duty to mention this. Regarding sampling technique, you mentioned the sampling technique. In what way the sampling technique, that particular sampling technique that you have chosen for your study, in what way it is suitable for your study, that you have to mention. You should also mention how you are incorporated. Suppose if you follow, say for example, what is called that sampling technique, what is called stratified random sampling technique, that suppose you follow, in what way, how you are stratifying the sampling, that you have to mention. How they are stratified, that you have to mention. That is regarding the sampling technique. And give all the details regarding the tool, the details regarding the, if it is already standardized tool, and already before 20 years or later, normally people used to say 10 years only the sample will have. But nowadays people said even 3 years is more. So normally, suppose say for example, there is Kuppuswamy scale for socio-economic status. The socio-economic status Kuppuswamy scale will talk about if you have what is called TV at your home, if you have two-wheeler at your home, you are considered what is called above normal family, you are considered what is called rich family. But nowadays we cannot consider. So if you take the already standardized tool, you what is called, you re-standardize, re-established its validity, re-establish its reliability, then only you can use it properly. Okay, you give how you are doing all these things properly in your thesis. You have to be very careful, and you have to give all the details, how, what is called a number of questionnaires, the maximum mark, the minimum possible marks, how it has been standardized. How standardized means how it has been what is called validated, how it has been, how the reliability has been established, what method has been followed, what was the what is called that reliability result. All these things are to be followed better. That is very important things. As and when required, you give flow charts or table like things, but don't fill the entire things with the table, but as and when required, you have to give the things. So with this, we will pass on to the next chapter, some tips for writing, analysis and interpretation of data. Oh, it has been changed, I think. Okay, but here but in those days people were giving formula, but here you need not give the formula, so that there are different formula. But what formula you have used, that is, there may be some what is called there may be some confusion and there may be some discussion. So better to avoid, but I am giving some what is called some tips only, but better you can avoid giving the formula for the statistics that you have used, but avoid giving differential analysis before giving level. So say for example, some people, say for example, if you take the attitude, for example, attitude of the people towards what is called the COVID lockdown, like that problem that they have selected, first they have to give the level of attitude. What is the attitude of the total population, total sample? Next, to go to the differential attitude, differential analysis, whether there is any significant difference between male and female, low power. Between male and female, whether there is any significant, that a differential analysis you can go after discussing the level. You have to be very careful. And other important things, again here also you copy the table for things, but the copied table sometimes are left without what is called without correction. So copied the table have to be corrected properly. But a particular table value is there, but their interpretation is different things. You copy from the table number 5 and the table number 6 is copied, but in the t value in the table number 6 may be different from the t value in the table number 5, but the table number 5's t value is retained in the table value 6 also. Here you have to concentrate and you have to be very careful. As far as possible, try to club the maximum number of tables possible, and try your thesis should be as brief as possible. You understand? Brevity is the soul of wit. Normally, don't think that I come across the people who used to say the bulk of the thesis will, the size and the number of pages only will talk about the quality of the thesis. If you have that prejudice, predetermined opinion, you leave it. The quality not lies in the number of pages. It lies in the quality of work, how you are condensed, how you are giving the more ideas within the limited number of pages. So you have to be very careful and know the theory behind every statistical technique used. Some people might use what is called some advanced theory, path analysis, some advanced statistics like that factorial analysis and multiple correlation. When they are asked about these things at the time of viva voce examination, they simply have to cut the sorry figure. So you can use the what is called statistical techniques with which you are familiar with, or you be familiar with the technique and then you use it. You have to be very careful regarding this. And with this, we'll go to the next area, that is regarding the last chapter. The last chapter, next slide, please. Okay. Some tips for writing conclusion, etc. Okay, the last chapter, here we are supposed to discuss your findings with the findings of previous studies. So you don't leave your finding as it is. You discuss with your findings with the findings of your previous studies. In fact, and also some exam. You are here only. We are giving the recommendations for our different things. But while giving the recommendation, you may know that the research quality of the research and the nature of research is three important things. Number one, objectivity, originality, and utility. Utility part means what does this particular work contribute to the field in which you belong to. This utility part of your research is discussed only in the recommendations that you given. But here, for some foreign examiners, ask the people to give the recommendations and substantiate those recommendations with the findings of previous studies. Suppose if you give the recommendation, audio visual aids or what is called recommendations that this type of online should be followed in our teaching, you have to substantiate that so and so did the research so and so proved that online teaching is proved to be effective than traditional teaching. So online teaching has to be followed. Not only based on your findings and based on others' finding also, you are supposed to give recommendation. It is what foreign examiners are expecting. You have to be very careful in this regard. And then you can give your recommendation specifically. Specifically in the sense you can give specific recommendation for students, for governments, and for teachers, for parents, and above all, don't leave your thesis without giving the specific recommendation, one or two solid recommendation for a policy decision. It has to be, it is viewed very seriously. People are viewing the matter very sensitively. So you please give one or two very valid, very solid recommendations based on your research for policy decision. Okay. And then for your findings, you can also discuss your findings along with your what is called speculative reasons. Speculative reasons means the hypothetical reasons. Suppose if males are female are doing better than the male, you can mention that female are doing better than the male, maybe due to the more concentration given by male these things. The speculative reasons once again may be based on your own experience, or maybe based on the research findings that you have gone through, or maybe based on others' recommendations, others' experience, etc. But don't leave the things as it is. In your suggestion for further research, you please mention the things given, the speculative, the genuineness of the speculative reasons, the genuineness of speculative reasons, the hypothetic reasons given for various findings of your study. Or genuineness of all those hypothetic reasons may be found scientifically. That type of recommendation that you can also given at the end. So this recommendation also you have to be given all these things. So with this we'll go to the third part. And the third part again. Next slide please. Some tips for the thesis for third part. So the third part here, you append the copies of the tools before and after validation. It is very important. So before validation, there are 65 statements, and after validation, it is 60 statements. All these things you have mentioned in your thesis, but here you have to be very careful, So you have to give the copy, standardized copy, and the copy before standardization. So that copy has to be given, and you have to follow. And another important thing here also, you have to follow the university rules, particularly specifically. Some universities may emphasize you to submit, to append what is called a master table. Say for instance, in the IGNOU programs, the MR students are supposed to append the master tables of their thesis. But some university may ask all these things. So here also you have to be very careful. So we'll go to some other tips also. Next slide. Some other tips, okay? Here you have to be given, I like to tell you one important things. Our thesis, it is not a creative writing. It is not a creative writing, understand? It is not a what is called narrative writing. It is only a scientific document, mind it. Since it is a scientific document, your language should be formal. Your language should be very scientific. So better you can avoid first person and second person pronoun like I, you, we, and other important things. Better you can avoid exclamatory sentence. What a beautiful thesis is this and that. And such type of exclamatory sentence should be avoided in your presentation, in your thesis. Also avoid giving some colloquial word. Also avoid using contracted form. Say for example, do not, don't use don't, like that. And you have to be very careful in using abbreviation. If you are using abbreviation, in the list of abbreviation, you have to be very careful. And many students, they have given noted so many things here and there, but they haven't, they have left this unacknowledged at the end. So you have to acknowledge everything. You can follow APA format. You should follow APA format, understand, for acknowledging sources, and it has been given in APA format in the 7th edition that, if you had a friendly talk with somebody else, if somebody have contributed some points orally, that points are to be acknowledged in your thesis. That is what is called a thesis ethics you have to be follow. How to acknowledge, better you can follow what is called APA format. In consultation with the guide, with your guide, you can follow. But this is very important things, okay. But another important things, American spelling and British spelling. In India, we follow British spelling, but American spelling is also allowed. But when you follow American spelling throughout the thesis. But say, for example, favor, Favor, is American spelling. If you give Favor in particular place, throughout the thesis, you have to give Favor. Avoid giving Favor. But for all these things, better you can follow British spelling, India we follow, but American spelling is also allowed, understand. And another important thing, every university has its own norms. Better you can follow your own university norms. Go through the university norms thoroughly. Better you can follow university norms immediately after registering, even before registering. Better you can go to, nowadays a good number of language courses are available. Better you can go through the language courses, so that the courses on language and the courses on what is called research ethics, that is how to avoid what is called plagiarism. All these things are to be made as mandatory in the days to come. But in some universities have already made it mandatory to give the certificate from the language experts before submitting the thesis. But better you can follow the language course, avoid committing the language spelling throughout your thesis. Go 2 or 3 times, go through the thesis before submitting and get the ideas from the expert in this regard. So you have to be very careful. And regarding the university norms, number of pages, some universities prescribed the number of pages. Some university prescribed 250 as the maximum length. When it was prescribed 250, I come across the people, they have ordered some 2 or 3 volumes of the appendix. After seeing this, or for some other reasons, I don't know, university now started limiting the number of pages in the appendix also. In many universities, normally 250 pages for PhD thesis and 100 pages for appendix, not more than that. So better you can follow the number of pages, be restricted to the number of pages, be adhered to the rules of the government, and other important things, the type of binding. If university asks you to come with 4 hard bind and 2 soft bind, you go with this much number of hard bind, but don't have the enthusiasm, and out of enthusiasm, don't make all the binding hard binding. At the time of your submission, you have to
Sir, you please continue, sir.
There is some disturbance. Okay, right. Can I continue?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you follow university norms regarding the type of binding and the number of pages. Okay, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Can I proceed?
Yes.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. Yes, okay. So now, lastly, I mentioned you better follow university norms in number of pages, in type of binding, and what are the enclosures particular, At the time of submitting your thesis or dissertation, you don't, you might have already been in a tensioned mood, but there may be people waiting there to make you little more tensed, but don't give room for all these things. Go prepared. Better 2 days in advance, you make everything ready and go to submit with all these things. Okay, and the final important point, APA format is our constitution, understand? And your guide is the authority. Don't get guidance from so many people. If you want to get the guidance from other people, you get the guidance from other people with the permission from your guide only. So your guide is supposed to be the authority. Okay. So better follow. Your guide is the authority and the APA is your constitution. This you have to follow in all your things. Okay, so I have given you some tips, but as I told you, I was not giving you all the points that you might have gone through the research methodology courses, or along with the research methodology courses, you go through some language course, go through some technology course, go through some what is called the theory ethics related courses, so that you can understand the things better. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your patient listening. Thank you. There is any question, you can post me through the host and I am prepared to answer.
Any questions? Dear participants?
Sir, nice presentation, sir. Thank you very much. I have one doubt. Sir, I have a doubt.
Thank you.
Sir?
Okay, tell me.
Sir, which tool is best, sir? Excel or SPSS?
Oh, okay.
SPSS or Excel?
SPSS is the modern.
Okay.
Excel is what is called SPSS, but you know the theory behind all. If you give the data to SPSS, you give the research for everything. Better you know all the theory behind all the statistics that you use.
Sir, not audible, sir.
So, okay, you can use SPSS.
SPSS. Sir?
SPSS you can use it.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
But for using any statistical technique, before using any statistical technique, you be very thorough with the theory behind the statistics of what we are using.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Sir, one request to the participants. So
Yes.
participants, please mute your microphone. You can put your questions in the chat box so that the co-host will raise your questions to the resource person and the doubts will be cleared.
Okay.
Because we are facing with the echo problem.
Yes.
To avoid that, I request all the participants to mute their microphone and post their questions in the chat box. Thank you.
Okay.
Participants, please
So now
send
you
your
can-
questions to the chat box.
Okay. Okay, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Very clear, sir.
So, okay, question is, what question?
No question is in the chat box.
Okay. Participants?
Yes, one question, sir.
Yes.
Any mandatory rule for including number of reviews in second chapter in doctoral level?
So, no mandatory rule, but it has to be exhaustive and comprehensive to your studies. No mandatory rule. But some people may have included, but for some works, good number of related works may be available, but some works may not be available. If it is not available, your work is a new work, some people may, but you give the wide coverage and then you can give comprehensive coverage.
Another one question.
Yes.
Is there any norms for the number of pages to be in a thesis?
As university will describe, but as far as Manomayam University is concerned, 250 pages for thesis and 100 pages for in appendix. But every university, I think, may follow this is the normal rule. But the students are supposed to follow the university in which they belong to.
Okay, thank you, sir. One more question.
Yes.
Explain moderating variable. Explain moderating variable.
Moderating variable, actually, I don't have clear idea, but you can go through the things.
Another one question, sir.
Yes.
Clarify the difference between citation, reference, and a bibliograph.
Okay, actually, the citation means what we have cited. But suppose if you take, take the idea from a particular person, you are citing from which book you have taken idea, etc. But a reference means you just referred the book, but you haven't taken any statement, you haven't taken any particular idea, you just referred research in education by Western Kahn, such type of book is called a reference. But all these things you are giving in your bibliography. And if you want to go further clarification and differentiation, better you can go through the APA format. But citation means we are citing the quotation taking from. Reference means we are referring the book, that's all. But some people may use it citation for language and reference for this and that. Bibliography, here the book that help you to prepare these theses. That's all. That is called bibliography.
Okay, thank you, sir. Another one question. What is intervening variable?
The variable, that variable, we haven't expected that variable, but that intervenes, that interferes between your research. We haven't predicted that variable that intervenes. That is called intervening variable. For every research, there may be a good number of intervening variable that you have to find out. You have to overcome, in fact. Suppose if you haven't taken online program, you are taking the research, but the students are not familiar with what is called the computer technology, etc. gazetting, that is intervening variable. Socio-economic status, they are not having the power supply, they are not having the system, etc. That is intervening variable. The variable that interferes is called intervening.
Okay, another one question related to molecular studies. How to write the review related to molecular studies?
Molecular studies means PRT-CL sequencing for PhD. Molecular thesis means I think it is related to biology.
Physics, sir.
Physics, sorry, molecular, right, biology. But that you can find out related to molecular studies means, but here, regarding molecular physics, if there is any other studies, you have to include. That is called related studies.
Sir, another one question related to educational research. Is there any difference between conceptual framework and theoretical framework? Which one we should mention in our dissertation?
I already told you they are used synonymously in our research. Both are the same, but of course there is subtle difference. Better you can follow conceptual framework, or you can in consultation with your guide you can fix. But both are used synonymously.
Okay, thank you, sir. Any other questions?
One person has given your topic is brand new. If good number of theses is not available later literature, there only I told you, the later literature will automatically be the minimum later literature. So that is also a good contribution of your study. If you have a good minimum later literature means your study is new one. So you have to defend how your study is new one. Why you have to why you cannot give a good number of related literature, that you have to defend in your thesis. That is very important. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir. No more questions in the chat box. Let me conclude the meeting, sir.
Okay, before I conclude, I have to thank our principal for giving me this opportunity. In fact, there are good number of questions in which I may be confusing, but better you can, as I already told you, the participants can consult their guide, and with the guide's permission consult with some other experts, and better you can, but you follow, it is our constitution, API is our constitution, follow research ethics also, and we need a separate area, that is the separate area, better you follow research ethics. And also, I thank all the participants and who are from throughout the country and who are spending their valuable time. Whether I am making their time valuable or not, that I don't mean. If I fail to make their time valuable, kindly bear with me. But anyhow, I thank you for your patient listening. Once again, I thank our management, our principal, and the organizer, Dr. Sasipriya, and Dr. Davasuba, and those who helped me in the what is called yesterday's work. Yesterday we had some rehearsal, there's so many people helped me, and I thank every one of you, and if anybody is left out, I thank them also. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everybody. Again, if you are not updated, you will be outdated. With this small quote, let me begin my vote of thanks. We surrender unto the power of God, the Almighty, for giving us strength to organize this webinar. I wholeheartedly thank our management for the guiding stars of our success in every academic activities. My special and sincere thanks to today's resource person, Dr. S. Rasul Muhyiddin, Director, Center for Research in Education, who is an eminent personality in the field of educational research and ever supporting in all our academic works and student community. I would like to thank all my colleagues who joined hands in all our programs and work towards the success of the events of our institution. Last but not the least, I sincerely thank all the participants for patient listening with us to make this webinar a memorable one. Once again, I thank you one and all. Dear participants, feedback is given in the chat box. It will be enabled up to 20 minutes. Please you submit your feedback form, and the certificate will be issued within 1 week. Thank you one and all.
So we request